Good morning, Sorab. Starting off with asking you if you could see a repeat of the stellar performance that we had seen in the October to December quarter in Q4 as well.
Yeah, good morning. Yes, I think we are already on track to give a good performance again in this quarter. And we are seeing growth all around. We work in the industrial segment, the infra side, and also to an extent in the agri side. And we are seeing an increased order book of around 50% as compared to the last quarter, which I'm sure is going to translate into numbers.
Saurabh, have you all taken any price hikes to offset the higher steel costs?
Yes, steel prices have been a pain in the last 2-3 months. We've already pushed in a price increase in February and again from 15th of March. So hopefully with a lag of 2-3 months, we should be able to cope up with the increased steel price.
Also wanted to talk about your agri segment where the growth has been slightly on the softer side. Would government's rural and farm income push really help to turn around the agri equipment segment? And is it fair enough to assume a single-digit kind of growth at least for FY19 for this segment?
Yeah, I'm sure even in this year we'll do a growth of around 10% in the agri business of ours. And going forward, we are targeting growth of at least 25-30% in the next year. And all the necessary hard work and all the infrastructure resources which need to achieve that are already in place. So we are reasonably confident that at least a 25% on the agri side in the next year looks evident.
All right. If you could tell us more about the current on-ground situation in the industrial and, how the infrastructural activities are panning out across the country since you work very closely with some of these players.
To start with, the industrial has been on the upswing for more or less the whole of 2017, starting from March, April onwards. Yes, there was a slight dip around the GST time. But in the last quarter, it was booming, and as a matter of fact, it's very fast now, and we can easily make that out because of the shortages of different types of commodities and components and things all around us, and even small to big vendors when they are running towards increasing their capacity by increasing some machines and even small capex in plant and machinery and even buildings. So I can already see that happening, and I think industrial activity is already on a good footing as of now, and hopefully we should be seeing a reasonable amount of industrial capex also coming in soon.
Saurabh, how has the ordering activity been for cranes in January and February, and most of this demand would be coming from which segments?
I'll just answer this question along with what you just asked me before that I forgot to answer regarding the infrastructure side. See, again, infrastructure activity, especially led by roads and metro construction and urban infrastructure, that again has been doing pretty well in the last 5, 6, 8 months, and then we can already see the results. And we can see the results coming into our crane business, which is our core business. About more than 60% of our revenue comes from there. And like I said, we are seeing an increased order book on a monthly basis by around 50% in our cranes business. Rather, we are coping up to manufacture those many cranes all of a sudden in the last 2 months.
So this kind of uptrend that you're seeing in the order inflows 50%, is this something which is visible across the industry, or is it just that you all are gaining market share?
We are definitely increasing some market share here and then all the time. But if I talk about my competitors with respect to crane business and even with respect to other construction equipment business, we are seeing numbers going up everywhere. With respect to construction equipment. But it's an all-around movement that started happening in the last 3-4 months especially.
What would be the average capacity utilization levels for you all right now?
You see, leaving out our crane business, we are still working at about 40, 50, 55% capacity utilization for our construction equipment, metal handling and agri business. With respect to crane business, currently we're working at about 80% capacity utilization, and if things go as per plan, hopefully we should run it out in the next 1 or 2 months, maybe 3 months at max.
Okay, so by what sort of levels do you expect your capacity utilization levels to go up? Then, given the kind of order inflows you said you are seeing, would that translate into a necessity for fresh capex, or because you're operating on an average at 40-50% levels, you won't really need to make in fresh investments?
Like I said, in cranes we are already working about 70-80% utilization, and in other segments we are at about, let's say, an average 50-55% here and there. So hopefully, cranes we would be consuming off very quickly, and we would be looking at, we are already looking at some fresh capex and increasing our capacity to produce cranes around 50%. We already started planning, and hopefully sometime in the next quarter we might start to execute that. And with respect to our other business, I think we have enough capacity as of now to develop those businesses from where they are, and hopefully, let's say the capacities for other businesses like construction equipment, material handling, and agri, we should go to a utilization level of approximately about 65 to 70%, or maybe slightly higher in the next year.
Okay, so with Neeraj, go ahead.
No, just wondering, Sorab, good morning. The cranes business specifically, if you indeed are operating in the capacities that you are, by when does your enhanced capacity come on stream? And until that, would growth come in by reaching capacity utilization numbers of 90-odd%, or would you and the industry at some point of time contemplate some serious price hikes as well because of the demand?
I don't think we are built in a way to increase prices like that. But yes, like I said, sometime in the middle of next quarter, we're planning to start our capacity expansion. We are currently at 80%. Around that time, we should be fully utilized. If everything goes as per plan, sometime in July, August, we should be ready to use that capacity easily, and which will obviously further aid in our numbers going forward.
So what? Okay, so can you tell us about prices? One is, of course, the volume growth that you will see by enhanced capacity utilization. What do you mean by when you say that you're not built to have price hikes like that?
It's a demand-supply scenario, obviously, and when the demand is high, supply is a little constrained. Obviously, there's a tendency to increase prices, but for us, a lot of opportunities with our numbers going back to normal, which is going to give us enough cushion to reach our EBITDA levels in terms of our profitability. And we have pushed in a price increase because of the steel prices going up. So I don't think we would want to trouble our customers by increasing prices out of due.
Okay. Okay, fair call. So then FY19, the growth will come in as a result of what? The enhanced capacity coming on stream midway through the year. What does that lead to volume growth and thereby revenue growth?
See, the growth is primarily going to come from the market. And like I said, we still have some capacity left, which we will be utilizing, and that utilized, because you also have to see that in the current year, in the first and second quarter, we are working only at 50-60% utilization. So going into Q1 next year and Q2 next year, where we already have capacities that we'll be using, numbers will be much bigger than similar numbers in the current year. I'm talking about the next year, and by that time we'll have a capacity in place, and the market is pretty buoyant with respect to the industrial activity and with respect to infra activity. And going forward, we are also envisaging that the industrial capex cycle is more or less on the anvil, which is going to further increase demand. So all these factors put together, along with our capacity, further capacity being in place, and the market scenario appearing to be good, should lead to a good level of growth in the coming year.
Let me try and put some numbers there. At least final question from my end. Back in November, when you first started throwing off these really good numbers, and we've had a couple of conversations since then, back in November, the assumptions were that over the next 2 years, your compounded growth could be about 15-odd%. FY19 revenue growth could be 15-odd%. Looking at the buoyancy, have you internally believe, or do you internally believe that the numbers could be higher than an average 15%, which any steady state company and industry could anyway show?
I'm sure, as a matter of fact, in the current year itself, we have increased our growth projections, and we are looking at about a 40% on the top line. That is FY18. And looking at the scenario, I think doing a 25-30% in the next year should be easy. I think we should be looking at more than that because there's an opportunity. So rather, I would put it at CAGR level, both the years combined together, we should be looking at least about a 30-35%, if not more.
FY19 and FY20, to be honest. I mean, FY18, I can anyway see the 9 months, and your confidence shows the kind of numbers. What about FY19, FY20?
FY19 we are very confident. FY20, I think it will be prudent that I answer that question only about another 3 to 6 months into the next year. But yes, going by the trend and going by the overall buoyancy in the economy, and also looking at the fact that we really had as a country very slow 3-4 years, 5 years from 2012-13 onwards till 15-16. So there's a lot of pent up demand and things are growing. So I really don't see this pace going down from this level. But yes, that only time will tell.
Many thanks for that.
Another fact.
Sorry, yeah, please make your point.
Another factor that I see happening from the infra and industrial activity, our government is also bent upon their scheme for providing affordable housing, and they intend to do about 1.2 crores affordable housing by 2022. So that again is also going to create a lot of demand for cranes, and not only cranes, for more or less everything around. And so that looking at all these factors, I think doing a 30-35% CAGR even up to FY20 or beyond, or even higher than that, that only time will tell. But yes, I can tell you that we are geared up for that.